What the government have not done, and I have tried in my own humble way to express this opinion to the authorities, that we need to develop a very vibrant narrative technique and reach out to the psyche of a suicide bomber. You don't become a suicide bomber by waking up overnight. These young men are made to, again, recite 3 verses of the Holy Quran 5,000 times. When you have done so, such verses become you, you become them. Nobody else can reach you. Therefore, we need to reach them before they get to that stage. And that is the fundamental issue. We cannot win this war on a symmetrical system, because this war is not symmetrical. It is become very asymmetric. And it is an experience for our men and women in uniform and the JTFs that are tackling this issue. We must also address the issue of national security infrastructure protection. We must address our border protection unit. We must create a joint task force for the protection of our borders, which are very porous for foreigners that share the same fundamentalism to enter in and cause mayhem in our nation.
Just
Therefore,
allow me,
there are other things that I cannot really say on the air, which I have been privileged
for a moment.
to
You
put
talked
in
about
writing
what you've
to the
been
appropriate authorities.
saying rather to this particular government. Perhaps you should also tell us if they've actually listened to you or looked into it, because we're trying to have a picture of what the former president must have been saying to this government to know if truly they have been a listening government. And you say, well, you've been able to gather some information about they reciting some verses. Perhaps you should also be able to let us in on what those verses contain, if there are verses in the holy books of the Muslims that tells them to do what they're doing at this point in time. Or are you speaking from hearsay?
Well, I don't have the actual malud in the Quran to tell you, but from what I have sat down with some security agents and interrogators and interviewers of those who have been arrested, these are things they have confessed to, and having heard this from those who were in direct contact with them gives me the added authority to interlocate such information. So, having said that, I also want to say that this administration also, I found out, had people that profited from this crisis, what I call crisis capitalism, where they claim to have contact with Boko Haram and submitted bills, collected money, and never brought in results. Rather, the government found out that the same people went behind and shared the same money with the Boko Haram people they were supposed to talk to. And that exacerbated the issue. I also found out that some people in high places from that particular area are paying money, so to speak, tight to these Boko Haram people for their own protection. And Boko Haram has taken a different dimension. If you come into a state like Gombe, a good percentage of those arrested are Christians, but they were operating under the camouflage of Boko Haram. What I have seen that is very prevalent in the northeastern states.
Sorry to cut you there again. If we say some of those who were arrested were non-Muslims, it then means that the unsubstantiated report of those that were caught reading a particular verse of the Quran so many times is false, because if truly those who you spoke to cannot tell you what the verse say in the Quran, and at least we have some Muslims among the security operators that should be able to read the Quran and let you know what exactly it means. And now you say some Christians were also arrested, being members of the Boko Haram sect. It means we should take religion out of it, isn't it?
We must take religion out of it, because during the Irish IRA and British interregnum, they were not called Christian terrorists. They were simply called what they are. Now, the Islamic version of Boko Haram have transcended with Yusuf and Foy. But people are capitalizing, and it is quick to say, Boko Haram did this, Boko Haram did that. And those who are doing the kidnapping in my own backyard in Southeast are not called Pentecostal or Catholic or Anglican kidnappers. They are simply unemployed youths. And this is where government needs to pay attention. The development of human mind, the development of human capacity security. And that would not come until the government pays serious attention at the energy sector, which their body language is already showing that they are. Then we must again look into the mining sector of this country, which is a serious avenue of economic development. Then the ICT sector. When an idle man sits home and does nothing, he will take any alternative. There is a serious issue of drug abuse in the North. And these drug abuse are solution-based. You see young men drinking high-potent codeine, lace it with Coca-Cola, and they are out of this world.
Looking at where your suggestions are going to, looking at all the other things that you're mentioning, we can safely conclude that if we remove the appropriateness or otherwise of the president's comments for you, we can actually take a lesson or two from all that he said on the interview.
Well, you can, but I will not. Why I say so is simple. He formed a foundation to deal with child health care, and for 8 years, he did not improve on that based on his record. His foundation is going to deal in education empowerment. For 8 years, he did not do anything in education. His foundation wants to deal with other issues where, as president and commander-in-chief of this federation, and with the enormous tsunami funds at his disposal, he didn't do anything. None of the refineries worked in his 8 years. And what are we talking about? Obasanjo is not an angel. Obasanjo, in my own personal estimation, has done his turn. Let him go and run his farm and do what he thinks he needs to do and leave this federation to move on. That we are not practicing proper democracy today was his brigandage. The desecration of our constitution, where he partnered with then Nuhu Ribadu as chairman of EFCC to impeach governors with 4 members of State House of Assembly, inasmuch as the governors may be found wanting, is against the law. Well, so this man, in my view, have lost it.